Welcome to an exciting adventure into the lap of Mother Nature. Are you ready? Join me to explore a wild journey where huge loads move on adventurous roads. What wonderful techniques are applied to conquer those dangerous paths? Let's explore the mysteries and hidden powers in every move of these giants. Oh my God! The fire is terrible. Please do something. The ferocious fire was like a red monster, constantly devouring the poor truck. The sound of metal cracking and the sound of wood exploding and exploding blended together into a deadly symphony. Thick black smoke covered everything, obscuring the driver's vision. He tried his best to put out the fire with the items available in the car, but all efforts were in vain. Despair engulfed his mind when he realized that he was alone facing death in the vast white sand desert. There was no one, no sound other than the roar of the fire and the sound of the wind whistling through the gaps. The fire grew stronger and stronger, burning the surrounding grasslands. The truck, his last hope, was now just a pile of rubble, destroyed in flames. It's so unbelievable. That giant truck moved slowly. On the truck's trunk was a giant block of iron, as bulky as a miniature building. That heavy block of iron hovered high above, threatening anyone standing below. The screeching sound of tires rubbing against the road surface mixed with the roar of the engine, creating a noisy sound, tearing apart the quiet atmosphere. Every time the car turns, the iron block tilts back and forth, making people's hearts skip a beat. It's dangerous for such a giant machine to move in the middle of a crowded city. Just a small mistake, the consequences will be unpredictable. If you think that car is funny, comment number 1. Do you see? They are dancing. This special custom car is like a wild animal dancing on the street. With a powerful upgraded engine, it creates powerful roaring sounds. Bright neon lights and unique dance moves make the car stand out among the busy traffic and passers-by. The perfect combination created those giant machines that crawled on the streets like metal monsters. They are so tall that they obscure high-rise buildings. Their dark shadows linger on the road surface like giant snakes. The screeching sound of tires mixed with the roar of the engine created a noisy, deafening symphony. Every time the car turns, the giant machines tilt back and forth, making people's hearts skip a beat. Suddenly, a loud explosion rang out. One of the giant machines lost control and crashed into a building under construction. The whole area was covered in smoke and dust. People ran away in panic. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured, but this incident startled people awake, realizing the danger always lurking around. Daily tasks have become simpler when transporting thanks to the heavy truck, the 6.7 Cummins engine roaring weakly, struggling to climb the zigzag slope. On the trunk, goods were piled high, weighing heavily on the chassis. With each turn, the car tilted, the tires stuck to the road surface, leaving long black streaks. Black smoke billowed from the exhaust pipe, dyeing the entire sky black. The driver was sweating profusely, his hands clutching the steering wheel tightly, his eyes not taking his eyes off the road ahead. Every meter you pass is a tough challenge. The giant truck was like an iron and steel monster crawling on the road. The trunk was filled with goods, towering high, threatening anyone who dared to stand near. The engine roared like a ferocious beast, the tires stuck to the road, leaving long black streaks. Suddenly, a bang rang out, and the car's trunk tilted to one side. Oh my God! It seemed like the car was about to overturn down the pass. People ran away in panic. Screams rang out everywhere. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured, but the accident left a big scar. Unbelievable, the dirt road is too dangerous. The giant truck, as heavy as an iron monster, struggled to climb the steep slope. It was pouring rain. The road was muddy, and mud was splashing. The trunk is filled with goods, towering high, tilting with every movement of the vehicle. The tires were spinning, smoke rising from the engine, but the car was still sluggish, unable to overcome the slippery slope. Every time the wheels turned around, the whole car shook violently. The goods on the trunk tilted, threatening to collapse at any time. The driver, with a pale face, sweating profusely, clutched the steering wheel tightly. The slope seemed to become a wall in front of us, challenging the perseverance of people and machines. Oh my God! In the middle of the vast sea, the giant ship is like a building floating in the ocean, majestic and majestic. The ship's hull is made of cold steel, towering into the sky, casting a dark shadow on the vast water surface. Every time the ship moves, it creates rolling tsunamis, engulfing everything around it. The boat was as small as an ant compared to that steel monster, swaying and swaying among the fierce waves. The sound of the ship's engine roared like thunder, shaking the entire sea surface. Have you ever seen how the 8-ton Hyundai truck works? It was moving heavily, sluggishly climbing the winding, steep pass. The engine roared weakly, smoke rising from the hood. Suddenly, the car stopped. The engine turned off. The driver panicked and rushed down to check. It was pouring rain. The road was slippery. The heavy truck was like an iron and steel monster alone in the middle of the pass. Having no other choice, the driver had to ask for help from a rescue vehicle. The cable was tight. The truck was dragged on the slippery road. Every time the wheel turned, the whole vehicle shook violently, threatening to slide off at any time. It's so unbelievable. The small pickup truck, like an ant compared to the steel monster that is the truck, was stalling in front of the huge river water. The rushing, ferocious floodwater roared like a wild animal, threatening to swallow everything. The rotten wooden bridge creaked under the weight of 2 cars and could collapse at any time. Every time the wheels turned, both cars swayed and tilted, as if they were about to be swept away. Oh my God, so dangerous. The cable was stretched to the point of breaking, and the pickup truck roared in pain. If the cable breaks, both cars will be swept into a violent whirlpool. No one can survive. The truck lies at a 45-degree angle, its spinning wheels hovering in the air. The car's trunk was dented. Goods were scattered everywhere, and some boxes were still hanging over the edge of a deep crater. The rescue cable was tense and screeching, trying to pull the giant vehicle back onto the road. Sweat poured down like a shower. The rescue workers coordinated smoothly, but the car was too heavy and kept sliding down every time the cable was stretched. Everyone around held their breath and watched, worried for the safety of those working. This is an extremely difficult and dangerous task, requiring the ingenuity and experience of the rescuers. This is truly the most beautiful car I have ever seen. It is so colorful. It was going uphill, gritting its teeth, trying to hold on the slippery slope. Torrential rain, muddy roads, and splashing mud. The tires were spinning, smoke was rising from the engine, but the car was still motionless. The customers panicked and screams rang out. The hero was sweating profusely, his hands clutching the steering wheel, trying his best but to no avail. Finally, smoke began to rise from the hood, a burning smell spreading everywhere. Everyone understood that the situation was becoming dangerous. Luckily, a passing truck stopped to help. With strong traction, the truck pulled the stuck passenger car out. Transporting giant machines on the road is really dangerous. Please be responsible drivers. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Hope you have had fun and relaxing moments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support me.